What would happen if all the religions in the world suddenly joined forces? With so many different beliefs, how could they all come together under one roof? Pope Francis, one of the most influential religious leaders in the world, is leading something very similar to this at the moment. He is openly telling people that all religions lead to the same God. Yes, you read that right. He's saying that no matter what you believe, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Jewish, or Hindu, all paths lead to God. But hold on, doesn't the Bible teach something very different? Pope Francis, the man millions look up to for spiritual guidance, is slowly but surely creating a new religious order, one that many believe is leading the world down a dangerous path. It all began to intensify in 2019 when Pope Francis signed a historic document with the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, one of the highest authorities in Sunni Islam. This document, known as the Document on Human Fraternity, called for unity among all religions, a noble cause on the surface but with dangerous implications. The message? The message is that all religions are paths to God. In 2022, the Pope made another significant move by participating in an interfaith gathering in Kazakhstan. There, he called for an end to all religious divisions, stating that the search for truth requires dialogue. Again, this sounds good on the surface, but for those who follow the Bible closely, these statements contradict what Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." John 14:6. Many believe that this push for unity is not about peace, but about control. Behind these public gestures of fraternity and unity lies a sinister agenda, the creation of a one-world religion. Revelation 13 predicts a time when the beast, a figure many believe represents the Antichrist, will deceive the entire world. This deception will lead people away from the true worship of God and into false unity. Many are beginning to see Pope Francis as a key player in this prophecy. The Bible warns us of a time when people will say peace, peace, but there will be no peace. Jeremiah 6:14. This false sense of unity is exactly what we are seeing unfold before our very eyes. The ecumenical movement Pope Francis is leading appears to be bringing people together, but it's actually pulling them away from the true gospel of Jesus Christ. In Revelation 18:3, the Bible talks about how all nations will drink the maddening wine of her adulteries, referring to a deceptive system that will lead the world into spiritual confusion. Many believe that Pope Francis is leading the establishment of this system under the guise of a one-world religion. Pope Francis's actions seem to fit right into this prophecy. His efforts to unite the world's religions aren't just about peace. They're about reshaping the world's spiritual landscape. If you don't pay attention, you might become enmeshed in it without even realizing what's happening. Pope Francis has been working tirelessly to bring together leaders from Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Judaism. He's traveled to countries like Indonesia, the largest Muslim-majority country, and Kazakhstan, preaching the message of religious unity. He held an interfaith event in Singapore where he addressed young people, saying that all religions are different paths to God. He emphasized that no single faith has a monopoly on the truth. But for Christians who follow the Bible, this message is dangerous. It directly contradicts Jesus' teachings. The Pope frames his constant call for unity as a solution to global problems like climate change and poverty. However, his initiatives like the Green Sabbath or Climate Sunday hide the deeper agenda of unifying all religions under one roof. This push for religious unity sounds harmless, but when examined closely, it's a clear departure from the message of salvation through Christ alone. The end times. It's not some far-off idea, and it's not just a story. Many believe we are witnessing the fulfillment of end times prophecy right now. The events surrounding Pope Francis could potentially serve as the warning signal. The Bible is filled with passages that foretell the final days before Jesus returns to establish his kingdom. These prophecies, scattered across books like Daniel and Revelation, describe a period of intense deception, confusion, and global unrest. It's a time when many will turn away from the truth and embrace false teachings. Revelation 13 contains perhaps the most alarming prophecy of all. It speaks of a time when a beast will rise to power, deceiving the entire world into worshipping him. This figure, often referred to as the Antichrist, will perform great signs and wonders, fooling people into believing that he is the ultimate source of truth and peace. Many see Pope Francis's calls for religious unity as a fulfillment of these ancient prophecies. He's not just uniting Christians, he's bringing together people of all faiths. His message that all religions lead to the same God could be the very lie that the Bible warned us about, a deception designed to pull people away from the true path of salvation through Jesus Christ. In the book of Daniel, we read about a little horn that will rise up in the last days, boasting great things and blaspheming God. Many scholars believe this horn is symbolic of the Antichrist, and they see a parallel in the way the Pope has been blurring the lines between different faiths. Instead of upholding the distinct truth of the gospel, Pope Francis is promoting a message that unites all religions under a single banner. The Bible predicts in Revelation 13:7 that the beast will rule over every tribe, people, language, and nation, leaving the world in awe. The global influence of the Pope, his ability to reach across borders and connect with leaders of different nations and religions, seems eerily similar to this prophecy. One of the most terrifying aspects of end times prophecy is the concept of the mark of the beast. According to Revelation, this mark will be a symbol of allegiance to the Antichrist. Without it, people will be unable to buy or sell, essentially cut off from the economy. Many believe it could be more than just a literal mark on the body. The Antichrist could use it as a symbol of spiritual submission, to pledge loyalty to his false religious system. And here's where Pope Francis's initiatives could come into play. In Matthew 24, Jesus spoke of wars, rumors of wars, famines, and earthquakes, all things we're seeing on the news every day. He also warned that many false prophets would rise up and deceive many. The Pope's claim that all religions lead to God is exactly the kind of deception Jesus warned us about. The Bible makes it clear that the Antichrist will deceive the world in the final days, and only those who remain steadfast in their faith will find salvation. The events unfolding today, Pope Francis's push for religious unity, his involvement in global politics, and his calls for a universal rest day, all seem to point toward the fulfillment of these prophecies. From the very beginning, the Bible tells the story of this cosmic struggle. The war started in the heavens when Satan, who was once an angel of light, rebelled against God and fell to earth. Ever since that moment, the forces of darkness have been working tirelessly to deceive humanity, to pull us away from the truth, and to make us question God's authority. The Bible is very clear that Satan's greatest weapon is deception. He doesn't always come at us with open hostility. Instead, he uses lies, half-truths, and distortions to lead people astray. This is why the battle between good and evil is so dangerous. It's not always obvious who the enemy is. In fact, the Bible warns us that Satan can even appear as an angel of light, 2 Corinthians 11:14, making it difficult to distinguish truth from lies. This is exactly what some believe is happening with Pope Francis's push for a one-world religion. On the surface, it looks like a noble effort to bring peace and unity to a divided world. But if you look closer, it becomes clear that this movement could be part of a much larger plan to deceive millions of people. By claiming that all religions lead to the same God, Pope Francis is blurring the lines between truth and falsehood. He suggests that one's beliefs are irrelevant, provided they align with those of others. But the Bible tells us something very different. Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." John 14:6. This is a direct contradiction to the idea that all paths lead to God. Revelation 13 predicts the rise of a figure known as the Antichrist to mark the end times. This individual will appear to be a savior, someone who promises peace and safety. But in reality, the Antichrist will be a tool of Satan, leading the world into false worship and rebellion against God. According to the Bible, the Antichrist will be closely associated with a system known as the Beast, which will wield global influence and power. People will face persecution if they refuse to worship this beast. Many people believe that Pope Francis's actions, his efforts to unite all religions under one banner, are setting the stage for this system to emerge. And here's where it gets even more frightening. The Bible tells us that the Antichrist will perform signs and wonders to deceive the masses. His actions will amaze people, making them follow him. This underscores the significance of maintaining vigilance and resisting deception. The battle between good and evil isn't just about choosing sides. It's about seeing through the lies and holding on to the truth, no matter what. The battle between good and evil isn't just something happening out there. It's a personal battle, one that takes place in the hearts and minds of every person on this planet. Satan's goal is to lead as many people as possible away from God, and he's using every trick in the book to do it. One of his most effective strategies is to make evil look good. By promoting ideas like peace and unity, Satan can make people think they're doing the right thing, even when they're walking away from the truth. This is why Pope Francis's message of religious unity is so dangerous. It sounds good, but it goes against the core teachings of the Bible. In this spiritual war, there are no neutral parties. Either you align yourself with good, adhering to the teachings of Jesus Christ, or you align yourself with evil, succumbing to the deceptive promises of the world. Many people remain unaware of their deception. It's easy to dismiss what's happening as just another global event, another effort for unity in a divided world. But this is so much deeper than politics or religion. This is a spiritual battle, and what's at stake is your eternal soul. The Bible tells us that the end times will be filled with deception, and we're seeing that deception right now. We are leading people to believe that all religions are equal, that every path leads to God, and that compromising the truth can achieve peace. But this is exactly what Satan wants: to confuse, to blur the lines, and to make people question what they know to be true. Many are falling for it. We can see this happening in real time as people embrace the idea of a universal religion without realizing the spiritual cost. The movement toward one world religion may seem harmless, even appealing, but it's part of a greater plan that could lead many away from the truth of Jesus Christ. If you're finding value in this content, considering hitting super thanks below. By doing so, you're contributing to keeping these urgent truths alive, sharing the message with more people, and standing together in this spiritual battle. We've discussed how Revelation and other prophecies foretell a time when false leaders, the Antichrist, and a global system demanding loyalty will deceive the world. But the Bible is more than just a book of warnings. It's a guide for how to navigate these dangerous times. It's telling us what to expect, how to prepare, and most importantly, how to stand firm when the world turns against us. Revelation 14:12 says, "Here is the patience of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus." This verse is a reminder that staying faithful to God will not be easy. It requires patience, courage, and a commitment to the truth. However, adhering to the truth is the sole method to evade the global deception. Right now, the world is standing at a crossroads. Figures like Pope Francis are leading a growing movement toward global unity, promoting ideas that contradict the clear teachings of Scripture. On the other side, we have the truth that Jesus Christ is the only way to God, the truth that following him may cost us everything in this life, but will save our souls in the next. The decisions we make now, how we respond to this growing movement toward false unity, how we choose to live our faith, will shape our future. Time is running out, and the window to make the right choice is closing. The truth is, we are living in unprecedented times. More openly than ever before, the forces of good and evil collide, trapping you in the midst. You've heard the warnings. You've seen the signs. You comprehend that we are witnessing the fulfillment of the Bible's prophecies. But now, it's up to you to decide how you will respond. The final battle between good and evil isn't something that's happening in the distant future. It's unfolding right now.